Welcome back again to the tutorial. So in the last lesson we did this our dining set. Okay, so and I told you we're gonna be working on this the lounge this sun lounger here. So I would show you how to deal with this one. We're gonna do it from scratch, so let's get started with that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna hide all this and maybe leave that one right there, and we're gonna start from the origin here. I'm gonna draw a box. Let's frame that. I'm just gonna make it just longer here. So like that, and just maybe push it one side here, increase it a little bit more. So let me just make this one probably 176 like that, and maybe this one like maybe like 3.5, and make this one, let's say 6.5 like this. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate it. This is the sides of our lounger, so I'm gonna duplicate it like that, and maybe like so. Then I will duplicate this one, then rotate it, and this one I'm going to, I think, rotate it like this as well. 0. Then bring it here and reduce it. So first of all, I'm going to combine this one and give it a bevel. Point 2x4, and this one as well. Just flatten it a little bit more, because this is gonna be the floor of the lounger. Just flatten it a little bit, maybe a little bit more like so, and then maybe then bevel it as well. 0.2x4. So what we can do now is duplicate it, maybe like a space like that, then press Shift D to repeat the same transform and duplicate. Okay, then I'm going to select all, combine, delete history, freeze transformation, and center the pivot. Okay, so the floor is done. So I'm just going to combine this as a set here, and then let's add in the legs right here. Okay, so I'm gonna use another box and increase it. Let's move it around here. Let's do it from here. Let's put it here, and move it like that, maybe too wide like this. So what we can do is let's give it some style, kind of. So let's do it from here. We taper this leg like this, and I'm going to add something there, and probably move it like so. So now what I can do is I'll delete this one, delete this one, and then grab that edge right there. Let me show you. Grab this edge right here and I will bevel it. That's not, let me see, actually let me undo that and do it from here like so, and then take this one and let me see how it looks. Increase the segments. I think this is too much. Let's take it like that and grab this one, put it up a little bit. And this one, and then let's try again. So I need to grab all of them and bevel it. I'm going to come here like and increase the something like this. Let me see. Yeah, I think the size is okay. For this one, I'm gonna smooth it. So what we can do is we add some edge here, add some edge loop here, here. And for that top face, I'm going to delete it. Just select all, then deselect this one that I need. Let me try. Okay, so what I can do now is to duplicate it and put it the other side. But before I do that, I think I need to straighten this leg a little bit. Let's use lattice to straighten it. Let me reduce this one to like 3, and then I'm just going to grab this leg right here and just straighten it a little bit like so. And then delete the history. So I'm gonna move it to this end So this all I'm going to group and call it lounger. Okay, so the back leg is a little bit different, so let's actually we're gonna use, because when moving this chair people normally will grab it here and roll it, so that's why we have, let's use like a roller, like a tire, to put it here to use it for the back. So let's create a cylinder and just move it here. I'm going to rotate it to 90 degrees and let me add some caps to it right now. Maybe this one, let's make like 3. Yeah, and then we can now increase it manually. And let's see from here. So that one, we drop it here, maybe increase it a little bit. And reduce the height. For this one, I'm also going to smooth it, so I'm going to add more geometries, maybe some 8 loops here to hold it, and add one here. Add one here. Let's smooth it, I get something like that. But then we need to add some support for it. So let's rotate this one to 90. First, let me duplicate this one and move it to the other side. I'm gonna fast track this part a little bit more so that we don't have to make the video too long, because we're gonna still do the cushions. So let's just gonna watch while I do this one. Fast track a little bit. So this is our lounger here. Let me put it. I think I'm going to remove one of these slats here. Just remove it so that we can have a space for the mechanism that will allow this to slide down and up like this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove this one right here. Let's do it from the top view. I'm just gonna select like this and then deselect this one, then delete it. So for this one now, we can now position this one right here and put the mechanism that can hold it here so it can be able to slide up and down right there. Okay, so this is gonna be our lounge chair. Let me put this one right here. So let's now go ahead and start doing the cushion. I'll show you how to do that. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna kind of hide this, but before I hide it, let me draw a box here to be able to know that I'm gonna use for the size of my cushion. So let's like make it something like this. So this is gonna be generally the size of the cushion, just for reference purposes only. So I'm going to hide this one, Control H, and then I will take this to the origin. Okay, cool. Let me bring it down here. So what we need to do now is to draw. I'm gonna make the cushion with knobs. Okay, so I'm going to actually use a sphere to start with, and this sphere I'm gonna make it, let me just leave it like this. Let me increase it a little bit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm gonna extract this edge right here, but I'm going to deselect that 1 2 3, and also from here deselect 1 2 3. So this is the one I'm gonna use. So let's go to modify, convert. We go to let me see, poly edge to curves. That's the one I'm gonna be using. Then I will delete this. Right now I have this curve right here. Let's delete history, and what I'm going to do is to rotate it this way 90 degrees, move it up and rotate it like this 90 degrees. Let's move it up a little bit more, and then I will let it be the size like so, and then I'm gonna bring it down to the origin right here. Let's increase it. I want it to touch the nearest grid because we're gonna be snapping it there, and I think I also want to flatten it a little bit. So what we can do now is, let's do it here, put one here and duplicate another one and put it around there. So I think I don't need this box again. So what we need to do is now duplicate this one and rotate it 90 degrees. No? What happened? So make it 0 and then bring it here and there. Let's put that one right there, and let's me also make this one to kind of, let's put this one right here and this one right here, and then okay, so let me start to for this one we really have to make it all the curves to snap. So the easiest way that I can use it to make them to snap is I like to snap them to the grid right here. So for this one I'm gonna just press X on the keyboard so it snaps right there, and then I come over here and also press X on my keyboard and just snap it right there. And for this one as well, I'm going to also do the same, but I'm gonna do it from probably this view right here. I'm going to press X and snap it right there. And for here, also press X and snap this one. I'm gonna do the same with this one. Press X, snap it, and come over here, press X, and snap this one. So for this one, I'm gonna duplicate, move it here, and click like so, and I'm going to press X to snap. Okay, right there. So now that we have everything is snapped together, so what we can do now is we need to use a tool called 𝗙𝗓𝗄. Okay, so what we need to do, we go to surfaces, 𝗙𝗓𝗄. I'm gonna use this 𝗙𝗓𝗄 3+. So you click on this one, click on this one, you press enter, click on this and click on this one, and you can see we have formed a surface here, but we don't see it here. And the reason is that because not all our curves are touching each other. For this to work, all the curves must touch each other. So what we need to do now is let's see, check one by one to make sure that everything is touching. And what I can see here is, let me grab these two, and these two probably not touching. Let's see. So what I can do here is press X to make sure that this one snaps here, and I'm going to, sorry, let me make sure I'm doing this. I think I'm working on this one. Press X to make sure it's touching. Okay, and this one, and also make sure this is touching. And let's move to like here, and this one, X to make sure it's touching here, and this one also to make sure it's touching there. And let's see, we're gonna check it from here as well. We want to make sure this one is touching, and also let's try this one to make sure this is also touching. This is fine. We want to make sure that all these ones, I think, you see this one is not snapping to the grid, so let's try to make sure that is actually snapping to the grid. So let me see here. Let me try to, okay, you can see when I try to align this one more properly, and you see our surface here is formed, but it's a little bit there's an offset here, but that is fine because we don't really need it. So what we need to do now is we're gonna grab this surface right here, and actually let me convert it to poly first. So once again we go to edit, modify, convert, and here we're gonna convert knobs to poly, and then we're going to select this one right here and also select this. First let me reset it, and we need general and quartz, and here we select the second one here, and let me see how many I can make this one. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14. I think 14 by 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 14 by 14. So let's do that. 14 by 14, and then we apply, and here is our polygon is formed right here. So we just move it here, and probably we don't need this one anymore, so I will delete it. Let me return this one back to the origin here. So this is what we'll be using for the cushion. So let me flatten it a little bit more, again like this, and I think this edge is right here. Maybe what I can do is to remove this. I think we don't need that, and this one we don't need, and this one as well we don't need it. So we have a more squared, not so curvy kind of mattress. So what we need to do now is we duplicate it, put it down, and Let's reverse it and make it -1. Let's move it up here. Try to flatten it a little bit more, like so. And then I'm going to combine this and then delete history, freeze transformation. And so what we can do now is let's bridge the spaces that we have. This one, let's select all of them like this. And let's see, all the edges are selected and we can bridge it. Okay, that one is bridged, and then let's do on this side. Let's make sure all that is selected, and we do the same here. And then we also bridge. I think we are missing one edge. What is going on? Okay, that one right there. Try it again, because if you're missing any edge, it's not gonna work. So let's do another one here. Let's get that one, and this one we are missing again. So you're just gonna be careful, and then we'll bridge it. So let's do this one here. Let's see. Remove that. And then let's bridge it. So now this is gonna be our cushion. If you press straight to smooth it, you can see how it's looking a little bit blocky. So what we can do is let's delete history and also save this scene so we don't lose it. So what we need to do now is to select all these edges here, and I'm going to bevel it because I need to add some piping around it. So what we need to do now is I'm going to bevel this and reduce it to, like, let's say 3 or 2. I think maybe reduce this to like 0.15. Or maybe 0.1 will be okay. Maybe 0.113. So what I would do now is I'm going to select all these faces, and I'm going to go to edit mesh, and which I'm looking for is duplicate these faces. Okay, so I'm going to press Shift P to unparent it, and then select that and combine it. So what I will do now is extrude it something like this, maybe a little bit more, make it 5. I think 5 would be good. And when I press 3 here, you can see we are having something that we can use for our piping. So but what we need to do here also is, let's try to add more geometry to this. So let's put some retopologize this one so we can get more geometry here. So let's go to mesh and click on that. We've lost our material is disconnected, but that's okay, we can just put it back. Okay, so you see the reason why I didn't just use smooth, because I want some irregularities here. So what we can do now is, I want to sculpt this a little bit, just put some sculpting a little bit here. So let's go to sculpting tool and let's click on that, and this is our, see, if we try to click on it now, it can. So but what we need to do, let's reduce this brush here, and now we can, let's me try to do some sculpting here. It's just very settled sculpting, just like that. And maybe press shift to relax some of these hard edges. Okay, just something, okay, something like that. Yeah. Okay, I think this is fine like this. We're not gonna do anything at the bottom here because that place is gonna be flat. Maybe add some, okay, something, it's okay, nothing crazy. So you press Q to exit that. So what we need to do now is, I'm going to retopologize this again so that Maya can hold those sculpting that we did. Maya will recognize them a little bit more. So go to retopologize and just press that again. I think I'm gonna undo it, and let's open the, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to increase this to like 1 and then try that again. I think, let's see, close it. So what I'm gonna do now is, I'm going to use my lattice tool again to be able to flatten it and make it look a little bit more like what we had before. So I'm gonna select all of them like this. Make sure you select with this one, go to lattice right here. So first of all, I'm gonna flatten the bottom. So for this one, I'm gonna grab it and flatten it, and then I'm going to clear this and then select it again. lettuce. I don't need 5 here. I want like 3 here and 3 here. So now I'm gonna grab this part and this part, reduce. No, let me see. First, let us just make it like this. Okay, and grab this one, increase it a little bit. Actually, we need only the edges here, and I'm going to increase them. And then the same on this side. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. And then I'm gonna grab these ones, move it up a little bit. Grab like this one and this one, just let's delete history and press 3 on this one, and I'm going to reduce, especially this one. This one can so we're going to be using this one individually and pushing them, but first of all, I'm more concerned about this cushion here. So this is not my problem for now. So I think I like the way this is trying to look here. So what I can do now is maybe separate these two so they are individuals, so I can work on them. So now I can press 3 here and then begin to adjust this. Just push it in there. This one, just bring it down, push it in there. so this is gonna be our mattress here. So let me lounger, bring it out, unhide it. So this one, bring it up here, down here, cushion. So let's go to change our coordinates to object. So we can just stretch it a little bit. Okay, so for these two, this one and this one, I'm going to just extend it as well. Move it there, and this one right here. So you can see our sun lounger is done. Okay, so let's position it in place and do that. I will select this, group them, and let's call it the cushion, and put it here. Let's unhide our and just bring it out here. So in this lesson, we learned how to make this lounger, and I showed you how to make some cushions. You can always change, the tactics. For example, this one I can see is looking too straight here. You can go back and use the sculpting tool and add a little bit more. Also, one thing we can do is, for example, like this one right here, we can reduce the geometry here. Let's do like here, go to reduce, okay, reset it, and reduce. You can see like so we can have some variations to that. Okay, so that's another way. I'm gonna keep it like this. So delete history. And also another way you can do is you can triangulate this one. For example, you go to triangulate like so, and you can now do the reduce geometry. And what you can do next is you can just increase this one to reduce the number of geometries that you have. Okay, maybe let's reduce this one quite a bit, and let's see how it's looking. You see we're having some kind of variation there. So that's different ways that you can deal with that. Okay, so we come into the next lesson and we continue with, I'm gonna show you how to do some gravels on the floor here, and how to multiply it so that they all look random, because here you can see this kind of gravels. So we can, I think that's what we're gonna do next, so that we can start populating our scene and make it, bringing it to life. Okay, thank you for watching, and I will see you again in the next lesson. Bye bye.